Hi and welcome to this week's video. I didn't do as much as I'd like. Mind you, I never do, but this week was even worse than normal. I was been away for half the week, but let's see what I did get up to, eh? Well, we've gone half past week and I'm back at last from my adventures at work. Here we go. You can just hopefully see on the camera there's a slight sheen. That's with 3 coats of 50% thinned varnish on there. That's as far as I'm going to go. There's no need to go any further than that. The wood is sealed. We don't need it to be shiny like a boat deck. It's not under constant soaking. We just need to seal it against moist air. And it's the same inside. I don't know if you can sort of see the amount of sheen there. Got a little bit of it, yeah. It's a sort of, it's not a high gloss. But you can sort of see that it's satin, I suppose. But it's coated. It's for it to get to that state. The whole lot is coated. Don't need any more. Otherwise, we're just adding weight. So this aileron is now ready for me to sand the bits on the side here to shape. To which I'm going to make up a quick light ply jig, and then we can get this one bonded together. I can get this out of the leading edge form, then I can get the next one in. So for sanding up these edges, I've got to clean off just a little bit of where some of the varnish managed to make its way through to the bond area. That'll be easy. So I've just made up a template there. Now I've just copied the outline from the tip of the aileron, which I just marked it, laid a piece of ply on there, marked it, cut it, sanded it to shape so that fits nicely into position. The edge of the thing here should line up with the rear spar sections on the aileron. So I'll just can go along. I can sand to the pencil lines I've already marked on here, and then check it out with this to make sure it is suitable. Well, here we are. Clamps here holding the 2 strips so they're kept in line. That's resting on the bench dead flat. It's got the cutouts for the bungees which are pulling it in against the leading edge formers, and then we've got these clamps in between, which are just keeping the trailing edge of the rear face or the rear edge of that leading edge clamped down onto the spar, hopefully. And the trailing edge is packed up by a packer the same size as this strip, and it's all weighted down. It's weighted down at each end, so hopefully that should stop any twisting. We'll find out. I don't like doing closed box D-sections because it's very hard to tell if you've actually got a good bond between the ply and the former or rib section underneath. So I've got the triangular piece bonded in there, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch triangular, 1.5 inches long. And I've set it out 3/4 of an inch out from the face of my rib here. That should be enough space for the aileron control tube to go. This piece of geodetic here will probably have to be dressed back for the control tube. That little bit. And I'm going to cut through here on the false trailing edge, and that will give a clear path. As we found we needed it. And then I've put in the triangular sections here which are shown on the plan, both top and, well, see, up here and down there, both areas. But I deviated slightly from the plan. The plan says use 1/16 inch plywood, and I've used bits of strip wood scrap from the rib geodetic to make those up. They fit better in the groove of the rib cap strips there, and they're not extending out. I've chamfered back these false trailing edges to pretty much not quite halfway, but I've dragged them back a good chunk of distance, so I don't see the point of bringing it right out here. In fact, these little triangles really are only there just to help stiffen up the false trailing edge a bit, and it was a bit of a 50-50 as to actually whether they're needed at all, with them being this short. If the false trailing edges were out as far as they showed on the plan, it might have been more necessary, I suppose, but it just didn't work out that way on my aircraft, so I've put those in. I'm going to let that little lot cure. I'm letting the aileron itself, the leading edge, finish its curing, and then I can give that a bit of a sand. So this is the pipe bender which I'm planning to use for the control tube. What I've had to do is I've had to dress out the inside face there with a Dremel rotary piece just to smooth it out and to increase the diameter very slightly to accept the imperial size. I've done it to about the 90-degree mark. We're not going to be using anything like that much distance, so I had to dress it out here, and I've had to dress this section out here, and I've polished that on the buffing machine to get it so it's shiny, so it can slip over the pipe without marring it. So now I've got a bender, so I can do a nice bend rather than trying to just do it around some form of form, which is not my preferred method. So I've got a tool now which will do the job just fine. Luckily it's made out of a light alloy, so it's easy to sort out. Cheap and cheerful, designed for 12mm, so I've had to bring it up for the 12.5 or just over 12.5mm for the half-inch pipe, which is what we're using. Starboard ailerons just had its third coat of varnish, so I can't put it together now this week, run out of time, so hopefully about halfway through next week, like 72 hours or so for it to cure, so that'll be Wednesday. So about the time that you're seeing this video, I'll be gluing this aileron together. Hopefully next week we'll get the chance to start mocking up the control tubes for the ailerons, checking the bell crank and sorting out the movement. We'll see how we get on with that. I have got work getting in the way again, so hopefully we'll get as far as we can. My plan would be to have the control tubes done and possibly even get to start putting varnish onto the ailerons, if not the wings. Depends on the weather and whether I go flying or not. Anyway, catch you next week.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe or even hit the little bell notification for future videos. Any comments would be appreciated, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, go fly and feel the sky.